Alright, One Piece, episode 26. So this might be a new best episode so far. Again, it's like I was saying previously, I think the best part of One Piece is when they get into the backstories. Because, apart from Luffy's, and maybe Zoro's, a lot of these backstories so far have been pretty awesome. You know, Usopp's when the reveal and all that, and now you got a whole episode about Sanji's, and Sanji is like the coolest. And it's a really intense backstory too, and it kind of makes sense. I guess I'll talk about All Blue for a little bit because Sanji's whole dream is to like get to All Blue, and it's like, why does he believe it's real? And where it's like, it's a magical place where there's fish, all types of fish are here at the place. And it's just one of those things that I feel this is what I do. I feel I'm just kind of a dream crusher watching this thing of where it's like, everybody says it's not real. And Sanji's like, no, it is. And it's like, well, Sanji, why do you think it's real? And like, where is your source? And like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah. So that's another thing. It's kind of like the whole One Piece thing, the treasure. It's like, so all right, he's got to find it someday, right? I hope that happens at the end. I assume it hasn't happened yet. I don't know. I haven't heard anything online, but I don't even look up stuff online. Anyway, so I hope somewhere along the line Sanji does find One Piece. Anyway, it shows him as a kid where it's like, he's working, cleaning dishes and stuff on a ship. And then, the other ones are like, yo, which, yeah, I would agree with Sanji. It's like, because the other chefs are like, eating the leftover foods that the passengers on the ship didn't eat, and Sanji's like, "That's gross. You guys are doing that." And he's like, "Yeah, but," and I agree, that's pretty gross. But they talk about how it's like, yo, when you're at sea, you never know what's gonna happen. You don't want to let food go to waste and all that. And what a coincidence! Right at that moment, pirates showed up and started attacking, and so stuff was at, so hey, stuff went crazy, which again, the whole concept, and I keep bringing this up because it bothers me, where it's like, Luffy wants to be king of the pirates. These are pirates. They like show up on this like cruise ship or whatever and just start stealing and attacking people and all that, and it's like, yeah, Luffy, you saying you're one of these people, right? You are a pirate. You're someone who's gonna like board ships and attack people and steal their stuff, right? You want to be king of these people. What are you talking about, Luffy? Uh, what are you? I haven't seen Luffy do anything pirate related other than run around saying he's a pirate, and everyone's like, he's a pirate, run! And it's like, yeah, because Luffy, pirates are known for kind of being evil people. What are you talking about? But it's like, Luffy's a good pirate, though. I don't think there is such thing as a good pirate. The whole point is that, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about this because I feel I talk about this a lot, so I'll probably talk about it again anyway. Because yeah, that dude red-footed Zeph is there back when he's younger and had both legs, and Luffy's like, "Whoa, this guy's super cool." And it's like, yeah, but Luffy, all the stuff about where you're like, "Oh, this person's unpleasant. You shouldn't treat people that way." And it's like, yeah, Luffy, this person was a pirate and used to do things like that. I don't know. Anyway, so it's like, he's got powerful kicks and all that, and then the ship sinks, and he like saves Sanji and all that, and then they wash ashore on a island where, again, what a coincidence, the storm and waves must have like turned it into like, uh so it's like a mushroom, so they couldn't get back on top if they fell off and all that, so they can't go fishing or whatever, so they can't get more food, and so they're stuck there. And again, what a coincidence where like Sanji was talking to the other cooks, and he's like, I wouldn't never do that, where you're eating the leftover foods, just throw the food away. And they're like, yo, you can't be wasting food, you never know what's gonna happen at sea. What a coincidence, right at that moment, Sanji, like, the next day ended up, you know isolated on an island with no food, and he experiences extreme hunger. And it's just one of those things of like, I feel like I could handle the no food, okay, as long as there was water. Like, being thirsty is just, that will quickly change your tone. I mean, it's like I can go without food, but it's like if there was no water, that would be a problem. Like, whoa. Because thirst, I feel like that just automatically shifts your mindset, whatever you thought is no longer the case, because when you get thirsty, it's like, whoa. I mean, so I feel I could handle the no food for a bit, but I mean, until like you shrivel up and die. But anyway, so yeah, Sanji experiences extreme hunger, and it reminded me of that episode of Naruto. What was it? It was well, actually, it was that filler episode, right? Where whatever the dude who like was supposed to run the endurance race, that filler episode around episode 100, and Naruto and his team helped the dude. Oh yeah, Idate. I don't remember his name. He's supposed to run that marathon thing for his town to win, and it shows the flashback of when he was a kid, just like and he like held up a knife trying to rob the dude, and the dude overpowered him. But then he was like, "Here, come with me." He's like, "What? You're gonna help me out? I just tried to rob you." And he's like, "People will do crazy things when they're suffering from starvation." He says something along those lines, and it's like a starving man will do anything, and it's that kind of thing. Because then it cuts to Sanji, where he like goes back to red-footed Zeph, who's sitting on the other side of the island, and it's like, whoa, it is intense. Because Sanji's like got the butcher's knife, and he's about to go crazy. Because it's like, hey, he thinks the guy's got a big bag of food, and so Sanji's like prepared to do some crazy stuff. Even when he's like, I guess he's like 8 or 9 or 10, I don't know. It's like, dang, he's got that crazed look in his eye. Um, yeah, and it turns out there wasn't any food. It was just treasure, but it's useless because they can't spend it. They need food. And anyway, so yeah, that's Sanji's backstory. That's why it's like he couldn't stand to see those pirates suffering from hunger, even though he knew things were gonna go crazy. And it's like, that's really cool. It's like what Red-Footed Zeph said, where it's like, none of you know what going hungry is like. Sanji has experienced it, and it's like, yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, really, really good episode. Really good episode. You know, the backstory was revealed.